Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we returned to Haven at long last, and this is going to be a bit of a hodgepodge episode. I just want to make sure that everyone is properly leveled. We're going to have another round of party camp talks and all that good stuff. Now, let me just start my timer. There we go. The first thing I actually want to check. So, I did look it up. There is a level limit in Dragon Age Inquisition, which means I do have a limited number of points, and I did want to stick to the builds that I had written down in my notes. So, with that in mind, I think I'm going to respec a couple of people today. I just want to make sure I know who that is. Aenor. Aenor should be leveled just fine, considering that I've been controlling that from the beginning. Just double checking. Yeah, Aenor is leveled A-okay. Also, did I say Aenor was going to have grappling chain at some point? According to my notes, she isn't. In that case, I should give that ring to Bull, actually, whilst I remember that. Yeah, why did I think you were getting grappling chain? Of all things. Okay, that's a bit weird. Bull, where you at? Iron Bull. Okay. You have pommel strike, so let's unequip that. Take grappling chain, and what did that leave? Critical damage? You don't have any rings, so take that. There we go. Okay, so Aenor is all good. Cassandra. I feel like Cassandra was one of the people who I did need to respec. Because... yeah, she has that. So I need one for Cassandra. Sarah. I want to say Sarah is fine. Yeah, Sarah is fine. Blackwall buddy. Your notes are all the way at the back here. Yep, that's going fine. That's fine. Yeah, you're all good. Vivienne. There you are. Also, whilst I'm here. Yeah, that is chain lightning. That's lightning bolt. Yeah, no one's gonna pick that up, it seems. Yeah. Okay. So... yeah, and you don't need anything under winter. Okay, so yeah, you're all good. Solus buddy. Solus is here. Yeah, we also want to get rid of the barrier for Solus. He shouldn't have that. He also shouldn't have Winter's Grasp. So yeah, we need to respec Solus. Varric buddy. Varric. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Yeah, Varric is good. Bull. That's fine. Yeah, he shouldn't have anything there. Yeah, so it's just two. Cassandra and Solus, those are the people I need to respec. Now then, if you are interested in respecing a character, all you have to do is come down to the blacksmith and pick up the Tactician's Renewal. So you get a free one, basically, for that you can get for 1 point, or 1 sovereign, I guess. So pick that one up. And all the others from then on cost 345. And I'm willing to spend that. Okay. Now then. Cassandra. Also, just so you're aware, the Tactician's Renewal, it does give you back, if you have an Amulet of Power, which gives you a point to spend, you do get those points back. It doesn't glitch out. It isn't based on your level. It is based on how many ability points you have spent. So just in case you were worried about that. So take that. And Soulless Buddy. Equip that. Have that. And take that. Okay. Now then, Cassandra. From the top, if you please, let me pull up your notes again. Cassandra, there you are. Okay. First thing I want to grab is Warcry. Next is Grappling Chain. Yep. Okay. And then from here we want bam, 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 bam. And again, from here it's like, now put all your points in Templar. I'm like, I haven't unlocked that yet. In which case, I'll just hold back that ability point. There we go. Okay, and Soulless Buddy. Let me see. You were there. Okay, and from the top, we wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. I want to go here. 7, 8, 9. Okay. There we go. And I never actually checked. Was anyone else needing any levels? Okay, we're holding that point back. Sarah is good. Blackwall is good. Vivian is good. Okay, lovely jubbly. Excellent. Everyone is leveled. Very nice. Okay, let's get to those chats. Blackwall. Excuse me. Hello there, my dear.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
It was a good cause. It was on the way. It helps our cause. No, I think Aenor does believe that the Grey Wardens are a good cause. If she can help them out, then she will happily do so.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
You've proven yourself to be an honorable woman. Principled. I've great admiration for you, and I've never been more certain in my decision to join you.
Thank you. Thank you. Admiration will do better. I'm just hiding the bad. I don't care what you think. No, I do think she cares what he thinks. He's a warden. Here's the thing. This feels a little bit odd to me because this is literally like the second conversation we've had with this guy. And here's the thing. I do imagine there are conversations that we, the player, are not privy to. I mean, there has to be some sort of, like, traveling to and from, you know, Haven to the Hinterlands to Haven, Hinterlands to the Fallow Mire, blah, blah, blah. Like, there has to be some sort of, you know, road trip that these people go on. They have to be talking behind the scenes. However, I don't know. I have great admiration for you. I think Aenor, she's very slow to flirt with people. She is very slow to flirt with people. And like I said, she's probably gotten to know Blackwall. That's going to be constant. I'm constantly going to be calling this guy by the wrong name. I do apologize for that. I think she's had, like, you know, like, on the journeys to and from places, I'd imagine it to be polite chit-chat, nothing too groundbreaking or insightful. I don't feel comfortable picking this. I know she really likes to get to know a person. She really likes to get to know a person and have those deep conversations before she even will consider flirting. I'm also trying to think how Aenor would feel about flirting with a Grey Warden. She really admires the Grey Wardens, but, like, she admires them. She's not like, oh, you're a Grey Warden, let me suck your dick, sir. Like, that's not... She's not that into them, if you get what I'm saying. She's not like, let me prostrate myself before your greatness. Let me service you in a sexual way because you deserve it. Like, that's not... I don't think she'd flirt with someone because they were a Grey Warden. She respects them. Like, I do think she feels quite friendly towards Blackwall. Like, I think if she were to, you know, if you were to say, Aenor, which is your favourite friend right now? Who is your favourite amongst the companions? I do think she would point to Blackwall because not only is he a Grey Warden, he's shown himself to be quite a good person. You know, helping out farmers, fight bandits, and all of that. Like, you know, she has, like, this, I guess, admiration for him. She's like, I think he's a good person. He's also a Grey Warden, which tells me, at least, that, you know, he's willing to sacrifice an awful lot for the greater good. But she's not like, oh, a Grey Warden, I need to get in their pants. Like, that's not... Yeah, I feel weird. I feel weird picking this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've great admiration for you, and I've never been more certain in my decision to join you. I'm drawn to one of these. She does care what he thinks. We'll do better sounds rather preachy. To me, it sounds rather like, we're on a holy mission. A holy mission to save Thedas and mend the torn sky. And that really isn't what Aenor is about. Aenor is just here, you know, kind of in a, like, I've got a weird magical thing in my hand. I'm just kind of waiting to be replaced, and then someone else can take my position. I think she's still planning to be in the Inquisition, but just as more of a foot soldier type of thing. You know, she's on the ground helping the refugees, that kind of thing. If someone else rocked up with a magical thing on their hand and was like, I am actually qualified to lead an organization, Aenor would be like, oh, please go ahead. If this were Arten, bearing in mind that Arten, she was trained to lead from a young age. Arten was very much like, I am a commander, I am a leader, you will step in line. She was very grateful that Alistair was willing to defer to her. She was very comfortable in a leadership position. Arten would be taking more of an authoritative stance on the Inquisition if she were in this position. But Aenor's really not like that. Blackwell is a warrior. I do think she'd feel comfortable having a little bit of a joke. And again, I've great admiration for you. I've never been more certain in my decision to join you. I think Aenor's quite humble. She's kind of like, oh, no, it's really not that big of a deal. You know, you don't need to do all this, blah, blah, blah. So I think she'd rather downplay it.
Leliana makes sure my sordid secrets never come to light.
Well, then, I won't pry. I prefer to go on believing only good things about you.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Again, no, no, thank you. Yeah, let's talk about you. Aenor really doesn't know much about Blackwall. Curse you, Blackwell Saga, for making me confuse the two names. That was a good game series, but like I don't enjoy constantly mixing up the two. Yeah, I imagine Aenor has probably talked to Blackwall a lot about the Wardens, but I don't think she's really spoken to him about himself. And I do think she's interested in that. You know, who is the man beneath the silverite armor?
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Oh,
I disagree. Where are you from? You weren't always a warden. Why'd you become a warden? Let's start from the top.
Your name, Blackwall, doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher then. Ferelden.
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
Yeah, so you're saying you have a past then?
I hear that many wardens were once criminals.
You're right. When you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
Okay, that's fair.
What did you do before you became a warden?
I was a soldier, a nobody trained to wield a sword and follow orders. I grew weary of fighting other men's wars.
So you became a warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden was the first time I felt like I mattered. The life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
And why'd you become a warden?
Why did you join the Wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect. We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe I could be one of them.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
Very well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Blackwall. That was very interesting. I don't know whether Aenor would be jumping straight to like, oh, he was a criminal. But like, there definitely seems to be something there that Blackwall doesn't want to talk about. Indeed, but first, let me synchronize that. Thank you. Now then, Cassandra. Hello, my dear.
Yes?
We spoke about her last time. I don't know if she likes us enough to speak about Anthony, so we'll leave this. Was there other stuff that I didn't go into? Let me check.
I have some more questions. As you wish.
It is just that. No, I mean, we'll try.
Tell me about your brother.
Anthony was older than I, a dragon hunter, who showed what a Pentagast could truly be. I idolized him. I wanted to hunt dragons as he did, even though our uncle forbade it. Anthony promised to train me in secret. We would hunt together one day, brother and sister, vanquishing the beasts of old. And then he died on me.
Oh, that... I shouldn't have asked. That's awful. How did he die? Yeah, I think Aenor would feel rather guilty for having raked up painful memories.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pried.
No, it's fine. A group of apostates wanted dragon blood, and wanted Anthony to get it for them. He refused, and they killed him for it. In front of me. I begged the Chantry to let me become a Templar. Instead, they sent me to the Seekers. It took many years to let go of my drive for vengeance.
I understand you blamed all mages. You didn't let it go. Here's the thing. This is an incorrect way of thinking. Like, oh, something bad happened and it was caused by this group. I'm gonna blame all members of that group. It's not a correct way of thinking, but it is an emotional way of thinking. I can understand why someone would do that in the immediate. But then you get therapy and you realise, oh, I'm blaming the wrong people. It's not that this group is, they're all dickheads. It's that these people were dickheads and they happen to be insert group here. It's... like, it took many years for me to let go of my drive for vengeance. It sounds like she has dropped it. She's still very clearly suspicious of mages, but I don't think Cassandra hates all mages. I think she has realised that I need to be blaming that group of apostates, not all apostates. Like I said, it's in the aftermath of a tragedy. It's a very typical way for people to think, but you get therapy and you realise that way of thinking is wrong. It is understandable. I like I said, I do understand that. That's why we get therapy.
I think I understand how you felt.
At times I could not breathe. The rage nearly choked me. I sometimes wonder how different my life would be if Anthony was still alive. Would I be a dragon hunter? Married to some noble fool, a mother of 3? I cannot say. I take solace in believing the Maker has a plan, but he is not always kind.
I'll let you get back to work.
No, I won't.
Is there anything you need?
Because I want to know about the Seekers.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers? Why did the Seekers rebel? How do you become a Seeker? Enough talk for now. Let's just go round.
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
They did a bad job, then who watched you, so you led the Templars. Yeah. Who watches the Watchman?
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty, but she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
That sounds really rather familiar for a situation I was dealing with not too long ago. It's frustrating. This is the, you know the situation. The guy who, I left that group, but this guy was giving me trouble. Because before that campaign started, I told the DM, I expressly told the DM, listen, I think one of the other players is treating me differently. He keeps making hostile remarks. Every time, he makes a joke, I'm the butt of it. He keeps dismissing my opinions. He keeps telling me to shut up. Like, can you please keep an eye on it? And the DM was like, oh yeah, absolutely, don't worry. And then they never did anything. They never did anything. And I think it was kind of because from their perspective, it's oh, we're all such good friends. We're all such good friends. I don't want to rock the boat. But if someone has come to you and said, hey, this person is making me feel uncomfortable, and you see that, and then you don't say anything about it, you are kind of condoning that behaviour. Your silence enables that behaviour to continue. And especially if you're the GM, you have the most power in that situation and you're not shutting it down. And it was incredibly frustrating because there were so many times when this guy would make a joke, at my expense. And the DM, at best, he would stay silent. At worst, he would laugh along with the joke. And like I said, from his perspective, he didn't want to rock the boat. From my perspective, it's like, I expressly told you that this was making me uncomfortable. And by not saying anything, you are condoning it. You are condoning what I am going through. And as the DM, you can't condone one player making another player feel uncomfortable. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. That's how I feel. At least, I've never had to GM a full campaign. I've only ever GM'd one-shots. So maybe I'm simplifying. I did my mic. I apologize if you heard that. Maybe I'm simplifying things in my mind. I don't know, but to me at least, if someone comes to you and says, "Hey, this other person is making me uncomfortable," like once that behavior has been pointed out to you, you have a duty to see that it doesn't happen again. You can't just keep quiet and hope it doesn't happen if you're the person in charge. Again, I hope that makes sense. Okay, if you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind. Yeah, could that be fixed, do you think?
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
And what abilities do you have?
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from Lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
Very useful, and doesn't that sound familiar to another group in Thedas? You know, being immune to demonic possession and mind control, doesn't that sound very familiar?
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
And why did the Seekers rebel?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
But you disagree with that.
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
I agree with you, it was inevitable. Mages should be free. You care deeply about it. Here's the thing, Oh, oh god, oh no. I do think that on one hand, Aenor does think the Mage Templar War could have been avoided. It could have been. However, it could have been avoided by granting the mages their independence and, you know, allowing them to run the circles as they see fit, removing Chantry oversight. You know, it could have been avoided that way. And I'm really hoping that I agree with you isn't, I agree with you. The mages should be locked up and have no rights. Ooh. I get the... I don't want to go with this because I don't know the exact wordage this is going to use. However, I know because Inquisition is so black and white on the mage issue. It's so black and white that this is going to be mages should be free no matter what. And freedom means there are no consequences. And the circles shouldn't exist. Blah, blah, blah. And that isn't what Aenor believes. Aenor believes the circles should exist, but not as they are now. So I don't feel like I can go with this one because I know it's going to be like, oh, the circles shouldn't exist, and that isn't what Aenor believes. I think Aenor it didn't have to be inevitable. It really didn't have to be inevitable, but the mages should have been treated better. It could have been avoided. Things didn't need to get this bad. They didn't need to become this dire if everyone had just sat down years earlier and talked it through. I might reload this, depending on how this sounds.
You're right. Something should have been done.
When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
That was good. There goes my timer. How do you become a Seeker? Last but by no means least.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Vigil?
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
It does sound wonderful. Was it magic? You were delirious. No, I think, a year of undergoing something really, tough, fasting, prayer, you've practically been put in isolation, you can't see other people, and then when that year is finally up and you have that gift, that does sound amazing.
I wish I could experience that.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
I've no more questions.
Okie doke, and with that, I am out of time for this episode. In the next one, Cullen, you're next on my list. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.